It is one of the toughest times to be a car guy today. I made a video about how to sell my BMW because it was giving me too many repairs and that wasn't worth it. Someone said to me, guys, he said, you're an engineer. I didn't think people who are in these professions had to make such compromises with cars. But guys, that is the arena of cars today and being a car guy. Life is always a compromise. No matter where you are, what you're doing, you'll have to make little concessions in life unless you've got unlimited money. Maybe you don't get to buy the house you want to buy. Maybe you don't get to have the car. Maybe you don't get to eat at fancy restaurants. Whatever it is, that's okay at a base level. But today, guys, I think the compromises are quite high. When I had my BMW, it was an M235i. It wasn't that old. It was an 8-year-old performance BMW. I would run into repairs probably every 3 months. I would run into repairs, $1,000 bill every 3 months. And I could afford that, right? I'm blessed and I'm thankful that I could actually afford that. But I was in a place of life where, you're having to see, we can't go on this holiday because we don't have that sort of money just yet. Or maybe let's not eat at this restaurant because it's a bit expensive. So you're making these decisions in life and all of a sudden your BMW says to you, hey, it's repair time. I need $1,000 and you can't skip out on that $1,000. You can't postpone it because that's your transportation. Society is in a place right now where you're getting absolute junk from car manufacturers, absolute junk, guys. And, I think we're all part of the problem because a lot of people in the German car camp, guys, they're too busy coping and saying, actually, German cars are super reliable. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, these are the best of the best. And that's false, guys. A lot of people in the Toyota corner are also coping and saying Toyota is the most reliable thing ever. And, I'm sort of part of the problem here because very rarely do I put Toyota on blast, but it's true, guys. Toyota is not as reliable as it used to be. Now, I don't put Toyota on blast as often because, well, out of all the other brands, relatively speaking, Toyota is still one of the best to do it, right? So today, if you want to make a smart decision, you do generally want to go with a Toyota for most people. But obviously, guys, Toyota of today is not the Toyota of yesteryear, and I know that after owning many Toyotas. Manufacturers are putting in plastic, they're putting in all sorts of junk in these cars. They're absolutely recyclable, guys. I have household items that are appliances that are going to last longer than some of the cars out there today. It's very sad, guys. We're so blessed where we can buy these nice cars. Absolute junk, some of these cars, guys. Absolute junk. They're not building them the way they used to. The bills that you have to pay just to survive in life. And again, this video is not for engineers. It applies to anyone, right? If you're a pharmacist or if you're a nurse or if you're working at Kohl's, wherever you are, at the supermarket, the bills that you have to pay are so disproportionately high compared to what you get in. The minute you want to excel in life, get that next step of job, you can't see that big jump. You get a promotion, it's not as much. It doesn't give you enough money where the bills that you get in are reduced. The bills are just excessive. You go out to go buy some groceries, hundreds of dollars, guys. You want to buy some clothes, hundreds of dollars. Cars are so expensive, houses, everything is extremely expensive, yet salaries, regardless of how well you progress, and I think progression is really good. Everyone needs to aim for that. Regardless of how well you progress, the bills are excessive and the math just doesn't add up. So we're in that place in society right now, and it's really sad to see, whatever career you're in. The other thing is our fines and the fine system. And this is more of a Western world discussion, guys, but I was out with my family and we went out to dinner on a Friday night and I parked my car and we went downtown, CBD. We parked our car just outside and it was after 7:30 p.m., which is when most of the parking restrictions are gone. Saw the signs that said you could park. We had dinner, we came back home, and then 2 weeks later, I received a fine in the mail, guys. $200 for a parking fine I got. And I thought to myself, geez, we spent this time budgeting dinner and budgeting our night, and here's this $200 fine, which wipes it away and more, right? And more. And the fine said that you were in a zone which you couldn't park in. Apparently, when you entered that zone, there were signboards that said this is a permit-only zone. But once you're inside, the signage has different restrictions. It says you can park here, you can't park here. So for me, when I saw the sign that you can park here, I went ahead and parked. And it was an honest mistake, guys, because I was a traffic engineer, more than 10 years ago, and I used to do signage, right? And it was an honest mistake because it was nighttime, and a tree and a truck was covering up the sign that said this is a permit zone at the very entrance, right? So I never even saw it. So it was my mistake per se, but also the signage was kind of, not great. You should make it more clear. That's what I thought. So I wrote back to council and I said, look, my mistake. I should have been more careful, but it was night. There was blockages. And in that specific area, the sign said you can park here, no restrictions. And they wrote back, they said, no, $200, please. And I thought to myself, do I take this to court, to the magistrate's court? And then I thought, geez, I've got, time is money. I've got things to do. What am I going to fight this for? And then if it doesn't go in my favor, then there's extra bills. I think a lot of places, a lot of the fines and a lot of these things are not made to teach you a lesson. There's no warnings anymore. It's like if you get into this situation, I'm not saying park in these places. Obviously, guys, parking is, you got to follow the rules. So I'm not saying break the rules or bend the rules, but I think there are people who sometimes make an honest mistake, maybe their first mistake ever. And in those instances, perhaps, you could look at the records and say, this person, he's never had a fine. Honest mistake, let's let him off the hook. But no, that doesn't exist. So overall, guys, I think society's in a place where, it's restrictive. I think for car guys and for general people. This is a car page. I make car videos, and I didn't want to go into, I don't make life videos per se. I'm not an influencer or anything like that. But I did want to share this response, and it was really motivated by that person who said, I can't believe you have to make compromises as an engineer. Life is a compromise. We're very blessed. All of us, you watching this video, you're blessed because you can afford the internet. You could be entertained, right? You could watch a video. That's a blessing in itself. Things are quite difficult. I think people are feeling the pressure. They're feeling the heat. We just have to keep excelling, keep trying. We shouldn't give up. You've got to keep going. You can't just say society sucks and I'm done and I'm just going to be here and be broke or whatever, whatever issue you're dealing with. You have to hit it. You have to keep growing. You have to be motivated. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.